Belkimiones. Bienvenidos a Taquiende de Timisis de Piprioples. Oh, sí. Mi nombre es Enrico y yo es el host of Taquiende de Timisis de Piprioples. And I'm also the guy who's going on a date tonight. Oh, yeah. Going on a hot date. Interestingly, this woman's from Burbank, so I looked up the directions to it. So I looked up restaurants in Burbank, and then I picked one, and I clicked directions to it, and on my maps, Google Maps, it says you visited there 2+ years ago. Because I took this ENFP lady that I dated around the time I did in Kent. See how fast I swooped in this live stream? I've never been first till now. Am I quiet? Oh, because I got this for set up for music recording. Thank you for the heads up. Microphone checking. If you want to check my microphone, you should take off all your clothes. We only do naked microphone checking around here. What kind of pervert are you? Only checking in the nude. I'm just joking. We don't really only do nude microphone checking here. I'm clearly dressed. I'm going to change hats for the date. I'm going to get rid of this referee hat. I'll tell you a funny story of something that happened in the what, Eric? In the what? In the elevator at Spacey's Motel. So, very curious to see how this date goes. You know, I'll always have the surprise of, or whatever, mentioning at some point. Yeah, actually, I made a video about this date before I went on it today. I made a live stream about it. Of course, if I want her to be impressed, there needs to be like a lot of people here at the live stream. There's only 9 at the moment. But thank God for Taylor filling up the chat with his wisdoms. So that's what I got coming up that's interesting and I'm thinking about. Hi, Choco. Or is it Choco? You sprinkle the shard to move the slabs. I'd say I negotiate with the slabs. I don't move them. You can't move the slabs. You can only work with them as a subordinate. From each of our intuitions as they are able to each of the people in the world without intuition as it is needed. Amen and forevermore, the Communist Manifesto of Metaphysicism. It's farm to table. It's a lovely little boutique restaurant. It's farm to table. Slightly snobby. It's perfect. This woman named Jen. 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 It's not a very long name. 1 syllable. It's easy to say. It's one of the advantages. I talked to her on the phone briefly. We've texted and stuff. And I was going to plan to meet her up there at 7 o'clock. But she's like, oh, I'm not ready. Can we meet at 8:30? And I said, that's not a problem at all. You know, I was actually trying to rush to get out of here, figuring 7 seemed like the normal time or something. I don't know. So I said, yeah, 8:30 is not a problem. If you want, just shoot me a text. We can push to 9, no problem. So I expect it to be 8:30. Unless I receive a text, I always see there at 8:30. So it is now 6:41. I need to leave at about 8 o'clock to get there in plenty of time. I'm not going to secretly do anything of the sort, Taylor. Secretly live stream the whole date and then let the live audience vote on what to do with her after dinner. Don't grab her boobs. Okay, thanks for the advice, Susie. I'll keep that in mind. I don't plan to be grabbing anybody's boobs. I plan the date to go down in pleasant fashion. I'm going to hug her. We're going to say goodnight. That's it. Surprise her by being judged by an audience. If I feel them with my chest, it does. Okay? I feel them with my chest. It does count as a hug. So the thing is, I already know going in. I mean, I'm not entirely ruling out everything, but I'm saying I'm going in with a simple enough plan to go on a date with this woman, take her out to dinner, talk to her, see if I like her, and then hug her and say goodnight and come back here and talk about it. Boob gropes are socially acceptable. Exactly. If I grope her boobs with my boobs, it's fine. Hi, I'm Eric, says Retro Gamer 71. Are you also born in 1971? Like me? Right. If it works, it works. If it does not, you'll see that change soon enough. Yes, I got this date on OkCupid. I would. Are we going on a date, you and me? I don't mind if your audience joins us, no. I'm not going to ask her about a gag reflex, Taylor. Subtly. I'm not going to tell her I want to build palms for her either. I mean, I will, but not explicitly. How far back do you brush your tongue? Taylor. Oh my God. What was I gonna say? Right. I plan to mostly. I mean, I going in with this with a certain amount of more awareness than I normally go into social situations of any sort with, or work situations or anything. Usually I walk into new situations without having thought about the situation ahead of time. For this, I've got sort of a plan, or at least an approach that I want to use, which is to say I'm going to turn into a question asking guy, and I'll add my own meows, little bits here and there to make sure I balance out the total amount so she doesn't feel like she's dominating the conversation. But I'll be, managing that stuff. So far, I've done a good job of communicating with her. We've been nice, polite to each other, both using good English. She's like collegey, So I suspect there probably isn't any in there. We'll see what type she is. It'd be interesting if she turns out to be an ENTP. That would be really interesting. It means, she has good grammar, uses some big words, that kind of stuff. So she needs to give up the frames. I'm sure, she's doing her own framing. I don't know what she does for a living, but she's busy. She's got pictures of herself in like businessy kind of worky capacity. And until you have a frame, and she will like it. So, would you like me to frame this experience, or would you like to frame it? That would be a weird way to start a date, huh? Meanity meas. It must be a derivative of the word meandering. No, I don't think so. Yeah, all right. Listen, sweetheart, I'll do the framing for both of us from now on. Frame your pretty little head with that, okay? All frame your pretty little head. That's why I framed it as pretty and little, to be diminutive and dismissive of you. Does she does picture framing? Probably she has wood. I think she does some sort of arty stuff, if I remember correctly. I haven't really looked at her OkCupid page since I scheduled the date. Tell her it's her crown now. Could be, I want you to think of it as a tiara. The frame I'm putting around you is a tiara. A beautiful, sparkly tiara. You like that, right? Yes, you do. It could be worse. You could ask her what her favorite serial killer is. Well, what I'm hoping, no, we're going to this place called Granville. It's a farm to table-y kind of boutique comfort American food served fancily on a plate for more money. It's like one of those places. If I call you later, you're expecting to talk to her. My ass, Taylor. I'm not gonna do that. Look, I made that mistake last time I was dating with Kimberly. I wanted to get on her that first night, and that was silly of me. I'm trying to find out if I like the person, I'm trying to let my FI do its job. And I got to say, I just got back from Kimberly's house as well, and I had a nice conversation with her, and she's fairly remorseful, I think, or at least embarrassed about some of her behavior, and all I can do is say everybody makes a lot of mistakes in life. She's made a lot of them in quick succession here. It had to do with the end of our relationship, but I regret trashing her. I've taken down some videos, and it was wrong of me, and I won't do it again. That's really all I have to say about it, I guess. She's not a bad person. She's not evil at all. She just struggles with self-control sometimes. Anyway, it seemed like I'm approaching this date with no visible cringes. No, I feel pretty confident about going into this date. I did take down the world's best live stream. I'm not weeping. No weeps. See? I'm weep free. I'm entirely weep free. I have a certain kind of, and so it was, calm finality to things. That's different than weeping. And no weeps after she ain't putting out a first date. Listen, I'm not gonna try to get on her. I told you that. I have my plan. At the end of dinner, I'm gonna hug her, say goodnight. We're gonna come home and talk about the shit on another live stream. Shouldn't let opposing fifth slot dominate your emotions. What's opposing fifth slot? What do you mean? Because I don't feel the need to damage control your date. Expect me to fuck with you. Well, that's fine, Taylor. That's fine. I'm confident I can handle that. Archetype and BB. You think the fifth slot's opposing? It's not opposing at all, though. It's ignored, but valued highly. It's how we validate the external world is against our fifth slot function. All right, then keep it to a minimum, please, Taylor. Don't actually fuck with me so much that it bothers me. The opposing mother and demon channel. Okay, yeah, well, let's try not to talk in metaphors like that if possible when we're discussing cognitive functions, it doesn't help anybody understand anything. These are process analyses we need to be doing, not poetry. Why did I take that? Well, BB's archetype notwithstanding, that's not a reason for anything. But it's BB's archetype. Come on. Are you going to get fucked with by Taylor if you fuck with someone of the opposite sex too? No. I don't want you to fuck with me too much. Okay? I mean, okay. Well, hopefully, I don't know how exactly you're going to fuck with me too hard, because it's like I could always just like turn off my phone or something. I don't mind him playing having a little fun. But we'll see if I participate in it or not. Psyche analysis where uncontrolled emotional situations can erupt. But I think you got it wrong then on that regard. I think what happened with me and Kimberly is I kept pressing on her 8th slot function. And that's what I call the insecurity function. It's because the processes of it are unconscious but adequate for your purposes. So you really don't like it when somebody's trying to tell you that you're doing it wrong, because you're not doing it intentionally and you're doing it right unintentionally. So it bothers you a lot. And what I tried to do with Kimberly throughout the relationship was tell her NI truths that were going to fix her, and that ended up just causing more damage. Because people don't like being pushed on their 8th slot. If I'd been pushing on her 5th slot, well, that would have been great. That's what she wanted from me more than anything else, was a shit ton of SE. Well, good luck. I wonder how many gens there are in OkCupid. Would you like if someone decided you needed fixing? I mean, I get that, Susie. I get that. Nobody wants to feel fixed. And it's also the case that I was genuinely, for long stretches of that relationship, in an environment where I only had a couple choices. It was sit there and take what was unacceptable to take, or respond in some fashion, either in a solvency fashion or in an attacking back fashion. So that's the truth. And I don't want that truth to get lost in this whole equation. But what I'm saying is, that he was without sin for the first stone, and I certainly am not. I've often said people should get, and not always, but a lot of people should get infinite second chances to the extent that we can afford it. So don't break natural relationships with cognitive behavioral scrutiny. I didn't use that to address this stuff at all. That wasn't what I was using with Kimberly. I was saying, Kimberly, here are the behavioral norms of a healthy relationship, and I expect you to adhere to them. You're not going to call me names. You're not going to be nah. You're not going to be nah. You're going to speak respectfully to me. We're not going to stay mad and go to bed mad. We're going to resolve it. We're going to make up. We're going to hug. We're going to both compromise. We're going to both make sacrifices. We're going to be team players. All the normal fucking social norms. So regardless of whether they're social norms or not, she didn't want to be lectured on how to be a relationship partner. And her sassiness became at a certain point like something beyond sassiness, just kind of like attacking, ontological assault. But the point I'm trying to make is that we all make mistakes, and for whatever reason, Kimberly and I both contributed to the toxic environment in that relationship. In the aftermath of the relationship, she's made some more dramatic and volatile mistakes, and I've been quite calm and reasonable since the breakup. But that doesn't change the fact that these behaviors, what I saw today from her was a great deal of sort of schizophrenic emotions, like being very sad about her own behavior in certain areas and being completely unapologetic about other things. And for whatever the reason is, I may view it as wrong or right or whatever. But I saw this thing the other day, a week or two ago. I was a couple weeks ago at least, because I was still at Kimberly's house, and I turned on the TV and it was on some random channel. And before I could change channel, I heard the first thing it was like a Buddhist monk or something sitting there. And he said, "What we can offer is compassionate listening, even if their words are full of wrongness. Compassionate listening can do some good." It's like, I change it. It's like, what the fuck? Am I supposed to remember that or something? I don't like Buddhist monks. Of course, that's why that message I was supposed to remember came from a Buddhist monk, to remind me that they too should not be dismissed as a group. I don't know what the female's type is. It has been hypothesized by Spacey that the female is an ENFP based on her profile. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but thank you for the good luck wishes, Taylor. Enjoy food. I am going to schmooze her. I'm going to go in there with my full blast, most masculine, pleasant guy. Most masculine version of pleasant guy. That's the way to go here on this. So while I'm taking a moment here, I'm going to a restaurant. It's a farm-to-table restaurant, little boutique-y place, bougie place, in a nice part of Burbank. I actually took another date there before, a couple of years ago, and just before I started dating Kim, and it's a story I retell fairly often. There was this ENFP woman I took to this restaurant, and she started critiquing capitalism straight in. Even though she's eating at this fucking boutique farm-to-table restaurant with me, and I'm buying dinner, right? So I thought that was kind of funny. I was just like, we started kind of arguing about capitalism. See, that's the sort of thing I wouldn't do now. I would just say, I should bring the blowtorch. If she asks what I've got it for, I'll say, lost my lighter. Or I could say, well, I'm planning on making you a creme brulee here at the table. You should figure out if you're compatible. No, I know, I'm going to. But I'm also going to make sure that that nothing gets conflictatory during the day. So I won't let it get conflictatory. But at the same time, I'm going to be determining whether or not the person is actually compatible with me or not. Because it's easy for me to have a good time with just about anybody. It's like I'm not somebody who's it's hard for you to make me find you likable. It's not hard for you to make me find you likable. That's a weird thing to say, but that's what I mean. So I'm going to take this hat off, and I'll tell you the story of the elevator when I get back from the garage where I have to go to get a beverage. And while I'm walking over, I'm going to smoke part of a cigarette. While you're waiting for me, entertain yourselves with conversation in the chat. And let newcomers know I'll be right back. So I got this St. Pauli Girl. It's a non-alcoholic beer that is pretty good. It's not as good as a Heineken non-alcoholic. None of them are as good as beer, obviously, but Still pretty damn satisfying, actually. You know, there's a very beer-like quality to it because it still gets you kind of bloated. You got that taste. Sometimes you like go and you get a little foam back up, you know. No, I'm not gonna wear the sexy hat. That's crazy talk. So I was in this elevator, and I was wearing my black referee hat and this badge that my dad had, which said Census Bureau Enumerator, had his name on it, and then it said in very small red letters, expires September 1986. I found it in this old briefcase I started using for my dad's because my laptop fits into it. So I had on this census thing clipped to me, and I had on, it was actually clipped on my pants, but whatever. And I had on the referee hat. So I get in the elevator at Spacey's Motel, and these two large individuals, man and woman, with dark skin of indeterminate race, dressed all in army stuff, not army fatigues, but like shorts that say "Go Army" and stuff like that. Both of them, dressed head to toe in this, like this, okay. And the guy gets in, and he's probably ENFJ. And well, I mean, you have to ask people what it is because they choose it. It's arbitrary. Anyway, he's kind of an ENFJ dude, and he comes in and he starts right in with a fist bump. He's like, "Hey, referee." And I'm like, oh, I'm actually not a referee. I got this hat at a thrift store. It sees for AYSO. I don't actually not a referee. And then he looks down at my thing and he's like, "Oh, you work for the Census Bureau." And I'm like, "Actually, I don't work for the Census Bureau either." I try to explain it like, you see, I'm just like, and then the elevator door opened and I walked out. So that was kind of an amusing experience at Spacey's Motel that occurred. Yeah, it is an actual thing. The sexy hat is an amazing, amazing hat, but no. That's a bad idea. It's bad FE. Because even now, I want to get with somebody who both thinks a sexy hat is cool and has enough awareness to know that it's not cool to wear it on my first date. So that's what I'm looking for in a woman. And in other words, the right woman wouldn't like that for the right reasons. And so I can't wear it. Okay. So fruit bowl sized cream brulee. So that Eric guy, huh? Hey, newcomers. Eric will be right back. Thanks, very Indo-European. I appreciate it. Is going on a date. At least he ditched the baseball cap. Brought to you by. You think I look a little too Walter White with that hat on? It's the best hat I got to wear. If I'm going to wear any hat at all. And better to have a hat than immediately just thrust my baldingness upon her, I suppose. You need a woman with the right cringe reflex? What? It's a good way to put it. I wonder if we fuck ourselves over and lose the fun by trying to type someone right away. I'm not really trying to type her, but no, I'm not going to wear it at the table. I'm going to take it off and put it on the seat next to me. I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm bald. I don't normally. I mean, normally I wear a hat because I just sort of like it has a little bit of flair or something that I can still pull off kind of without looking ridiculous entirely. Especially something like this, you know. I walk around wearing this and people aren't really sure what to make of it. Especially if I look normal otherwise. What are you doing after dinner? My plan going into this date is to have a nice dinner, talk to her, get to know her, find out if I think she's compatible with me or not, and pay for dinner and hug her and say goodnight and go home. And she goes to her house and I go to my house. That's my plan for dinner. The lady goes on a date with a guy with a hat saying referee. Yeah, that would be even weirder. I never even considered wearing the referee hats to my date. That would be very. Why are you wearing a referee hat? That's a foul. That was a date hat, but this was the referee hat story hat. Are you going to tell her you vlog your entire life? Yeah, I will. You know, if it doesn't come up before, because I plan to try to keep the focus kind of on her. Depends how extroverted she is. If she's pretty extroverted, I should probably be able to get her to sort of talk the whole time, although she's probably paying attention to that in herself as well, you know. But if I, like I said, if I manage the questioning and talking about myself bit the right way, then I can sort of just get a lot of stuff out of her. She may or may not have watched some of my videos in anticipation of this. If this is a vlog, I at least expect more boring vlog stuff. It is a vlog, really. I mean, the live streams are, or the live streams are part vlog and part, you know, it's community chatting, right? Like I like to read all the chats of everybody and respond to them and stuff. Today's topic happens to be the fact that I'm going on a date because, thanks, Garrett Hurt. You understand this hat, don't you? I feel happy. I feel excited to go. What time does it start? I gotta go in like 50 minutes. I got 45, 50 minutes. So, you know, it's fun. The Slabs calls for an ESFJ soccer mom. I don't know. We'll find out. You'll find out after the date. I'll come back, tell everybody, tell another live stream, tell everybody all about it. I mean, it would be pretty cool if I went out with somebody who was super extroverted, so much so that they're like, "Oh, can we live stream our date?" Like they suggested or something. That'd be fantastic. I'm probably not somebody I want to end up with, but maybe, I don't know. But that would make for a fantastic date for sure. I would love that if she wanted to do that. But it's not the sort of thing I could suggest without ruining everything, sort of. ESFJ would be fine. ENFJ would be possible. I don't have any. What if I went to the date and the referee hat to the side like this? Yo! What up, Jen? And me, Eric. Like Fresh Prince. Oh, that'd be funny. Introverted thinker thinks I'd be better off with a beta woman. Maybe. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. I cannot tell. Right. I'm the one rep on the field that makes it about me. The beta women are INFJs, ENFJs, ISTPs, ESTPs. Pewdity, pew. Dark Star with an extra K. Why do you have an extra K, Dark Star? Did you accidentally push K twice when you were entering your name? I sound like Frank James. Do I sound like Frank James? I like Frank James a lot. I think he does good stuff. He's clearly very intuitive. Oh, the 1K version was already taken. You should have chosen Darker Star, Darkest Star, or Darkerest Star, or Darkerest Arrest Star, if need be. Most dark star. Star of most extreme darkness. No 3Ks. That suggests you're either a pitcher who doesn't throw a lot of strikeouts or a white supremacist. Either way, not a good thing. She could be a comfortable companion for you. Who could be a comfortable companion for me? Nancy Reagan? I don't want to go out with Nancy Reagan. That's not cool. She's old and dead. Is she dead? Is Nancy Reagan dead? She's got to be dead by now, right? Just say no. Just say blow me, Nancy Reagan. Freaking Nancy Reagan. You're such a Nancy Reagan. It should be an insult that people give to other people when they're mad at them. Crystal asks, I think it's interesting you think I sound like Frank James. In what fashion would you compare me to Frank James's, patter? Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it with your words. Use your fingers, go tippity tappity tap, and tell me all about it with your words. Frank James's innie is good, very good for an INFJ. He's a very creative INFJ. He's definitely an INFJ. He's as INFJ as they get. He's a good one. He's a strong INFJ. He's not an INFP. Frank James is not an INFP. I declare it here, now, and forever. It is not the case, nor shall it ever be the case, nor was it ever the case, nor will the case ever be, nor case be will, that he was an INFP, or is an INFP, or will be an INFP, ever, forever, and ever. Amen. Yes, but I was wrong. That wasn't me. That was Sergeant Host Eric. Regular Eric didn't throw him in jail. That was Sergeant Host Eric, and he was probably being improperly motivated by Officer Red, who was very much a stringent, hater. She's kind of like she wants to throw everybody into the slammer. What if Eric is an INFP secretly posing as an HP? What if indeed? Then I'd be constantly secretly supervising myself. Sounds terrible. You have a silly theory. Male INFPs wouldn't appear as INFP unless they completely let the guard down. Well, I will tell you this. My TI is too good for INFPs. And it was always too much of a enthusiasm for me. You gotta remember that I used to be a lot less FI friendly. My first marriage, for example, I'd say, it is not acceptable if you feel the fucking feelings because they're not justified. So stop fucking feeling them. You're choosing to do this. I said things like that. It's my first one. Well, I didn't know. I believed that to be the case. I couldn't understand why anybody would choose to have these feelings that were, causing them to be stupid. But now I see that, no, it was just me being stupid. So, I've gotten a lot more FI sensitive, or I guess more FI aware. In general, I've become a more sensitive person, and I have sought a more moral course. I continue to do that at all times, No, that was an INFP. Or maybe an ISFP. Probably ISFP. Who is ISFJ? Eric, you're looking much better than the last time I saw you a few weeks ago. I'm feeling great. Feeling, the world's an interesting place, and I'm unencumbered with problems. It's a beautiful, beautiful state of being. It's like being a kid again. Living here in my house. So much stuff's taken care of all of a sudden. Rent's taken care of, food, groceries, bills, all that kind of stuff. Right, I don't feel strung out at all. I mean, he's living off the income from the typings at this point, and it, it should be sufficient to keep him afloat. And I never did. No matter how awful that got, it never drove me to drink. That's still non-alcoholic beer. And that's an important one. It's the big temptation. It's a temptation that really requires me to actually resist temptation. I'm not that attached to anything, right? Most things I want to do or like to do, I get to do. Most things I don't like to do, don't want to do, I don't have to do. But I can't drink alcohol. And I want to. But I can't. And that continues to be the case forever. It's the deal I made. It's a deal I made with the Slavs. I have a destiny to fulfill. I have to make a sacrifice. The biggest sacrifice I could make at the time. The only sacrifice I could really make. And I have to continue to make it. And it continues to be a sacrifice. That is to say, I can't drink alcohol. And it doesn't matter whether I would be able to drink it successfully or not. I still can't drink it because that's the deal I made. And if I let myself get away with that, then the Slavs won't respect me. And they shouldn't. And so then all the good stuff just starts to fall apart. You sacrificed your neighbor's hamster. Not that kind of sacrifice, TFS. Consciousness is general desire. I mean, general desire? What do you mean by that? Because I would say consciousness is different. It expresses differently depending on what you're doing. So if I'm making something, my consciousness is expressing very differently than if I'm responding to that comment, or if I want something specific or whatever. Now, granted, there does seem to be desire implicit in there does seem to be desire implicit to doing things, taking action of any sort, completing a task. There's a certain amount of motivation. It's implicit motivation. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah. But what happened to your chat? It used to be so funny back when you were holding young people hostage in your basement. Big M, I'm not sure if you feel like it's diminished in quality in some capacity, but that would probably be typical of my live streaming habits, which is to say I cover different kinds of topics. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're autobiographical more, and sometimes they're less so, and a lot of stuff like that. So there are the most people I ever get in here about, it seems like, is about 60 at a time. Sometimes that number gets like 60, and that's about as high as it ever gets. So right now we're at about half capacity, so to speak, which is fine. People who are here get to say more things. At the moment, not everybody's chatting a lot. Of Crystal says she has to be an ISFJ. We need her ISFJ voice. I would like her to be an ISFJ. That'd be nice. It would sort of make it easy to go out with her again and stuff. I know I already asked this, but why was your world's best deleted too much of your date? The videos that were taken down and put on private tonight were done out of respect for Kimberly. I don't want to trash her on the internet. So I wasn't sure which live streams I trashed her and which ones I didn't. So I just took down every one that was recent. Because I figure it might have a portion in it that talking trash for Kimberly. When you were in the cobweb-filled basement, this chat was the funniest shit ever. I was never in a cobweb-filled basement. I was in a garage. I was in my garage at an equivalently nice house to the one I currently am at. I mean, at least in terms, not quite as expensive, but very nice neighborhood. You know, it's like a $800,000 home or something. Just because the garage had cobwebs in it, you make it sound like somehow I was ought to have been dismissed for that in some capacity. But of course, thinking those sort of things would be silly. No, it was my garage, actually. Big M. No meth. No dungeon. Just a regular old garage, but you do have a colorful imagination. That's right now calmer because of the time of day as well. This guy's just a troll anyway. She wasn't in that one, 90% sure. Okay, well, I will put the put it back up. I mean, the thing is, obviously my parents' house is a lot nicer in terms of being a house because that's a craftsman home. And as a consequence, it was built in 1918, and it's kind of like a lot of the homes around there have plaques and stuff of being declaring their historic status and what they used to be and stuff like that. It's a very picturesque neighborhood. Garage was, yeah, the garage is kind of a mess. You know, I was kind of messy out there in the garage. But what I'm saying is those homes in Laverne are about $800,000. And we rented there. Now I'm here in Arcadia. I'm just making a point here that there's been this long history. This is channel. A long history with this channel of people dismissing me because of some misleading appearance. So a lot of people told me when I used to make videos from my Temple City house in the garage out there as well, that they thought I was a hobo living in a storage unit. Even though that's also a nice neighborhood. Not as nice as either of these two, but I mean, you know, nice nevertheless. And and it was because I'd like, you know, I didn't care about appearances. What was striking to me at the time was how can these people be befuddled by what they're seeing when my words are so clearly correct and making good sense and being effective and yada yada yada. So you know, now that I'm a little bit more aware of that, here I am at my house here, and you know, I try to keep appearance a little bit better. I realized that even though most sensible people don't, thanks Joey Joe Shabadoo, even though most sensible people don't make judgments like that on appearances so much, like Big M does or whatever, but I just don't like being subject to the critiques, I guess. I don't like having to answer it. So I'll just look fancier or something. I mean, the thing is, I got to deal with a bunch of people trolling all the time and trying to be haters and trying to, well, I know they don't really think that shit. They're just trying to be haters. But obviously, successful trolling and successful hating is built around kernels of truth. If there's not some sort of kernel of truth to what it is they're critiquing, then it doesn't really work at all. So to successfully hate on somebody or critique on them in ways that can be effective, you have to have some sort of basic truths to use as ammunition. And what I'm saying is I don't like being critiqued in that area because it's an FE area, and it's like, okay, Eric, well, if you're going to be subject to those kind of critiques, but you can't really defend against with TI, then avoid them. Avoid the FE critiques. This makes more sense. Host Eric, what's a good movie to watch? The Usual Suspects is the perfect movie to watch if you want to understand extroverted intuition in action. Also, your cars are really nice to maintain. The detail not allowed to me. That was Kimberly. Mine's a mess now. It's dirty. I need to wash it. Oh, I am going to wash it. That's the FE tool function thing. It's like I'm likely to not really wash my car. I thought about it tonight. Like, oh, I should wash it before I go out to Glendale. And then I thought, well, I just maybe try to see which car I have or anything. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, I don't have time. I actually did have time, but I didn't think I did. And when I realized I had time, I'd forgotten all about the car. So, garbage asshole of a dumpster. Wow. That's pretty dirty. Yes! Exclamation point, 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 says Crystal S. That movie was amazing. Keep trying to get my son to watch it. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It's extroverted intuition at its finest. A demonstration of it in that film. Kind of a surprise ending thing that makes you go, oh my God. No. No. Like that. Makes you go like that. Which is pretty dramatic if you think about it. What time is it? 7:30. See, I'm restless right now because I gotta wait all the way to until 8 o'clock about to leave. Well, maybe a little sooner than that. Maybe 15 more minutes I get off. I'm starting to feel like actually nervous, like I have the metallic taste under my tongue that I get before I go into debate competitions. What do you mean when you say that cognitive functions are distinctions of cognition? Did I say that? I think I said distinctions of attention, maybe, or attentional manners. Cognitive functions are ways of paying attention. They're distinctions that we make about cognition. Or distinct manners of cognition. But it's perhaps more precise to say, or more meaningful to say, they form precise or form specific manners. We all understand that in certain circumstances and certain kinds of or certain cover, we attend differently than in other kinds of activities. If I'm watching TV, I'm paying attention in a different way than if I'm solving a bunch of math problems. Well, I guess I should pull some bowls. I'm really killing time right now. I feel like I'm waiting for drugs almost, I don't know if any of you out there are familiar with this, but back in the day when I used to get drugs periodically, like you get white drugs or something. They're coming, but they haven't arrived yet. You're just like, what do we do until the drugs get here? There's nothing that we could possibly do. There's no way we could possibly be interested or okay with anything until the drugs get here and we start doing drugs. And you're sort of waiting for the drugs, There's a little bit of that with this date tonight. I'm feeling right now like, when's the guy gonna get here with the drugs? It's at 8:30. It's 7:30 now. It looks like it's gonna take about 20 minutes to get there. So maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. It said 23 minutes when I looked at Google directions not that long ago. Killing time that you left behind. Everything comes to a point where it's tough and turn around. What is that? What's the worst food to eat on a date? Something you have to, like, Maybe grapefruit, because you could accidentally squirt her in the eye with grapefruit juice. Like, you have a grapefruit. That would be a bad one, perhaps. Or onion sandwich. Onion sandwich is fine. You know, I mean, I don't expect to kiss the woman at the end of this date. I do expect to hug her. Durian fruit. Durian fruit would be a bad one. Oh, let's see what else is bad on the date. I would say, you know, spaghetti is probably a bad choice. Like lobster or crab is probably a bad choice because it involves a lot of digging into your hands, digging in with your hands, you know? Well, I have brushed my teeth. I'll probably brush them again right before I leave. Then I guess I'd kiss her. If I wanted to. I don't know. I'll find out. It's like, are you trying to give me CPR? That would be funny. Let's see here. I could wear my Census Bureau badge, and I try to convince her I'm a Census Bureau enumerator. I'm trying to convince her I was one in 1986, and I've never taken the badge off since. Grabbing boobs and starting to kiss. Boob grabber, kiss men, grab some boobs and kiss her on the mouth. Well, I mean, you can also hurt yourself with crab. Those shells can be sharp, so you got to be careful. I would say that, like, a bad thing to get is a sandwich with a big piece of steak in it that you can't bite through. Anything that's really hard to chew. Something that takes a lot of chewing, like a not tender steak. That would be a bad thing to get. You don't want to have to chew forever, you know? Nobody wants to do that. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to wrap this up. I think maybe I need to put on deodorant still. Just go to the shower. Smoke a cigarette, put on the deodorant, and pace for a few minutes. A hanger steak sandwich with chimichurri sauce so parsley sticks to your teeth. Ribs would be a problem because ribs get stuck in your teeth. You have to get stuck in your teeth, like ribs and corn. Ribs and corn kebab encased in lobster shell. Thanks, Brian Goss. I will have fun. So the functions are distinct ways of attention? Yeah. Distinct ways of paying attention. Correct. Like now, I'm paying attention to you with my eyes. Yeah, the itis. Nobody wants the itis. All right, friends. See you later. I'll see you after my date. I'm going to be back. I'm going to be telling you all about it. Unless she kills me. So return here later to find out what happened. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.